All right, video number, I don't know, maybe 8, something like that. This will be covering the Vevor Tough Tools half price, in keeping with the theme of the channel, where underspend Overland. We spent all of our money on the truck. There's my truck. And now we can't afford any accessories. So let's save a couple bucks and look at what Vevor can do for us in the rifle case department. Save a couple bucks on a box cutter and just use a kitchen knife. So they come very plainly packaged. I mean, the whole point is this is supposed to be a tough case right here anyway. So why would you wrap up something that's supposed to be durable in the first place, right? It comes with a serial number. I'm actually curious because I bought 2 of these. Okay, so it comes with a serial number, and I just expected that they just printed out 1,000 of these stickers and stuck them on, but they're actually different. 74970957. 74970749. So maybe they put 2 different stickers and they just alternate between them. But this is what you get. The reason that I chose this one, because it's inexpensive. I'm sure that you can get a Pelican case for $1 million. This one is not $1 million. It comes with a user manual. You open it and you use it. It comes with pick and pull, which if you've ever used a gun case before, you know that you can tear out little individual squares in the shape of your AR-15 or whatever and fit it perfectly in there. It'll sit down in there and you can kind of see as you pull it apart the little grid that gets formed. So it doesn't feel like kind of the nicest pick and pull. I do have a smaller case for my pistol that had really nice. I mean, I'm sure it'll do the job just fine. But basically what you do is you take an item that you want to store in here. You know, here's my drill. And then you'd get something like a crayon or like, you know, something to go around the outside of it. Mark the edge that you want to go in, and then you basically just pick out these little squares. And then you have a little pocket that your item now sits in when it's in the case. I'm not going to demonstrate that because I actually am not going to use the pick and pull, but I also don't want to destroy it for the sake of showing you how to fit a DeWalt in there. Use your imagination. Maybe I'll put a picture up on the screen to show you kind of what the end result looks like. So I'm going to take that out and I'm going to save it for later. Put my crayon over there. And then it has another layer of the same kind of stuff. So you could do, you know, if you had a very thick item that required 2 different levels of pick and pull, you can do that. And again, this one has a little cutout in the corners for the wheel wells. There's wheels on the case here. And then it just goes flush to the end. So you have a good amount of space to, you know, do whatever you want to do with this. What I want to do with this is put my recovery stuff in here, in one of them. And then I'm going to need to figure out what I do with the second one. So I might leave this little thin piece, or I might just take it all the way out and just have kind of a raw rifle case. Right, and then in the top, it has some kind of egg carton style up here, but this is what it looks like fully empty. The one thing that makes me sad is honestly the wheels, because I know I'm not going to be rolling these through the airport or whatever. And what it does, so I'll do this. It does have nice locking latches here. These are nice. I do wish, and I know that you can install a little gas strut to kind of keep it from going open past a certain point. I'll look into that, and if that's something that I do, I'll end up recording it. But I did see a YouTube video, and if I don't do it, maybe I'll throw up a picture of it and put a link in the description of the guy that I have seen doing that. So if I don't do it, at least you guys can kind of find a video where it does. But the little wheels, so let me demonstrate here. There's no latches on this side, which is kind of a shame. It might have been nice if there was one here, but actually maybe that would have been a huge pain in the ass, and maybe I'm happy that there's not one on the top and bottom, because the way that you're going to access this is that it's going to be on my bed rack facing the sides. And so actually maybe, now that I think about it, I think I'm happy that there isn't a latch on the sides. But there are these wheels, and it looks like they have a little cotter pin. I don't know if I can focus on that. That's actually nice, because that means I can pop that little cotter pin out and I can just remove the wheel. And I'll probably do that, actually, when I come to mount these. But the thing that throws me off about that, the thing that makes me sad, and I'll show you when I put it up on my truck. Right. Is that this one, actually not that wide, huh? It's actually kind of interesting when I look at them from the underside. I thought they'd take up a little bit more space. I thought that they would be more like from here to the edge, but they actually, there's actually some decent amount of space in the middle. And again, maybe I love that, maybe I hate it, I don't know yet. But with my rack that I actually just uploaded the video for, this is actually kind of nice. There's these little bottom edges here, these little bottom feet kind of things that fit in the empty space. They fit kind of perfectly on this rack, and then this middle piece goes right where the handle is, and then again there's another foot that actually kind of fits almost perfectly. If I space it out a little bit, I think this is actually going to be pretty money. So this, I'm not wild about the quality there, where this doesn't look like it's closing kind of all the way. It looks a little bit warped. Huh. I wonder if I can do anything about that, or if they're both like that. But so this side will have wheels on it, right? And then on the other side, when I mount this one this way, or the other one, right, this way, it will not have, like, the wheels will be on this side and then on the far side, so they won't be symmetrical, which, oh no, you know. And it's not even like this side has a handle, so again the passenger side will have a handle facing forward, the driver's side will have a handle in the back, which again is not the end of the world. It'll have the handle over here and the wheels, and then on the other side it'll have the handle and the wheels, right? And so they're not symmetrical, but for the price, again, I think you get what you pay for. So this is kind of an air valve here. It looks like you can unscrew this to let air out. I'm gonna drill some holes in these. So the idea with this, let me open it up. So the idea is going to be that I drill holes in the base here that go through to these cross beams, right? Cross beam, it'll need a hole here, here, and right in the corner here. I'm just pointing my camera blindly, hopefully you can see that. But kind of once I get up there and I plot out where the holes are going to be, I'll do that and I'll show you guys. So the fit and finish, with the latches closed, there is a bit of a gap there. Obviously it's more snug where the latches are. It does kind of open up a bit. That said, there's kind of a tongue and groove action going on here, so let me open it up and show you. I don't think water is going to be a huge issue, right? The top side has a groove with a kind of a rubbery, spongy. This feels good. It definitely feels better than the Homey refrigerator that I first reviewed, where I think it is creating a nice, good seal. Again, if there was catch points everywhere. I'm sure it would create a better seal, but I'm not worried about the stuff. The stuff that's going to go in this, I'm looking right now for my recovery bag. Where is it? Found my recovery gear. It was in one of these containers. But just kind of to show, soft shackles, you know, recovery rope, tree saver, I think what they call it, snatch block. This is for the soft shackle or whatever you can put around here. Some extra gloves, some winching weights and whatnot. And then the bags, you know, the soft shackles all go in their little soft shackle bag or whatnot. But I think that'll be a good, you know, one of them full of recovery gear on one side of the truck. And then I'll figure out what I put on the other side. You know, maybe the camp stove and whatnot will fit in here. We'll have to see. Okay. But I was talking about maybe it varies. Maybe this one was a little chintzy and the other one was going to be better. They both seem to be about the same quality along the edge. You know, if this makes you crazy, maybe spend $1 zillion and get a Pelican. You know, but it doesn't bother me. I'm trying to save some money. One thing I do like, so I'll kind of show it here. You can see it kind of bows out a little bit and then closes at the latch. You know, it's, you get what you pay for. But I do like that there's two lock areas here on the handle side. So the side that will be facing towards the side of the truck, I can lock my stuff. So if somebody gets up there and tries to steal all my straps and whatnot, they won't be able to do it. You know, I don't think they're going to break through this. I think that this is a pretty good rugged case. But yeah, let me figure out where the holes are going to be drilled and what it's going to look like mounting on top. Okay, so standing up here in the bed, it's nice. There's this little ridge right here that I'm going to line up right with the edge here, which if I just slide it up against that, it kind of catches on that little ridge right there. There's a ridge here which does not exactly line up. If I push it this way a little bit, it lines up with that ridge, and then this one hangs off a little. And I'm trying to decide, I think I want it back more than I want it up. You know, I've got about this much of a gap. If I pull it back, it's a little bit bigger. If I push it up, it gets a little close. I think I want it leaning kind of towards the back of the truck a little bit more. I'm talking about probably a ½ an inch or like a 3/4 of an inch difference. But I like this edge being butted up against. And again, that side with the wheels on that side, when I turn this 180, I hope that this distance right here from the outside edge to the inside of this rib is the same, whether the wheels are there or not. And I'll measure that, but I think basically what I'm going to do is just take a paint pen. And again, I'm not trying to use the mounting slots that the rack has. If they do line up conveniently, that's nice, I guess, but I'm not trying to do that. So I'm just going to mark in here. Maybe I'll line up with this inside edge so that they're consistent. I'll do okay, so it's the next day. I've been laying out the pilot holes as I put this in place, and then I push the little pilot hole through just as it nubs. Like it kind of scratches the surface of this so I know where to continue the hole. You can see one that I did here that I didn't end up using. But yeah, you just basically carve out the correct pilot hole size into here, and then I drill those out with the step drill to 5/6, whatever the size is here. I measured it. It's like 17/64 or something. All right, so these are going to be the M8 nutserts. All right, and there's one down. So it is offset quite a bit. I mean, when they're both mounted, I'm going to have this big spot in the middle, which is actually interesting. But that might be nice because I can probably just lay a tent up here, tie it down with some tie straps or some bungee cords or something. So there is a little bit of extra space up here, which is kind of nice. I was thinking that these were going to be a little bit bigger, that they were going to come out. When I was looking for these, I did get these on Temu because I was looking for a very specific size. So my truck bed, these supports, I think it's 44 inches by 48 inches across. And so I wanted one that wasn't going to come over and hang out a bunch. I mean, that's up to you. Honestly, now that I think about it, it wouldn't kill me if they came out. But I do like to be able to kind of stand here in this little area unobstructed and be able to get into them and whatnot. So, yeah, one down, one to go. All right, so I got them both mounted. This is the end result. Like I said, there's kind of a gap in between them, but it's actually kind of nice. I think it'll give me a space to strap something down here. Like if I have a tent or, you know, some long chairs or like a canopy that I'm going to set up, it would be a nice place to strap it up here, up out of the way, so I still have my full bed for other things. And again, I need to figure out what I'm going to put in each of these. I know one of them is going to be the recovery gear, like I showed earlier. The snatch block, you know, soft shackles, tree savers, all that kind of stuff will go in one of them. And then in the other one, I'll see kind of maybe I can fit the camping stove and some propane tanks, or, you know, cutting boards and utensils and whatnot. But I'll see what can go on that second one. I won't be able to fit the air compressor, which is a shame. But yeah, this is the end result. Vavor. Half the price. Thanks for watching.